We love spaceships, and we're back on Kickstarter with something for every fan of science fiction. Wow your online or real-life gaming group with beautiful deck plans, or blow them away with our full-scale 28mm Beowulf that you can print out on your very own 3D printer. Hi, I'm Ben from Second Dynasty. We make 3D printable spaceships for tabletop gaming and display. This campaign is all about the Beowulf, an official Traveller RPG starship design that first appeared way back in 1977. It reimagines the classic Traveller vessel, but also feels right at home in just about any science fiction setting. We have created beautiful, full-color deck plans of 3 starships, suitable for handouts to full-scale poster maps. Alternatively, bring your favorite virtual tabletop to life with images you can drop straight into your game or customize to your liking. For the ultimate experience, for our most ambitious and dedicated fans, we have created the 28mm 3D printable Beowulf, a massive model that you can easily print yourself on any FDM 3D printer. Although it has 250 parts, it assembles gluelessly using the OpenLock system and prints almost entirely support-free. You can leave the model fully assembled or unstack the decks to lay them out on your gaming table for a great overview of what's going on throughout the ship. Enhance your starship with third-party lighting kits or with modifications to alter your Beowulf from the stock model, which will be unlocked through stretch goals. Of course, if you want to go old school, it is possible to scale down the parts in your slicer to print at 15mm scale instead. Make sure to check back on the campaign as we progress to see stretch goal progress and contribute by leaving your thoughts on the project. While you're at it, grab other goodies like the Rampart Space Fighter or fill your ship's hold with the cargo pack. Alternatively, complete your Traveller collection with our Starship miniatures and the incredible Type S Scout/Courier. The Beowulf is our largest and most ambitious project to date. We spent over 7 months designing the Beowulf for 3D printing, and we hope that you enjoy the final result as much as we do. Back today to ensure that this project can reach as many people as possible. Your pledge matters, and the more momentum that we build, the more people pledge, and the more stretch goals we can unlock. Share and comment to bring more buzz and attention to the project, and together we can launch the Beowulf into orbit. Hello guys, Ben here from Second Dynasty. Oh, I was invisible. Hi guys. It's an exciting day. Albin was definitely trying to tell me something right then, but we're live, I said repeatedly. I'm Ben from Second Dynasty. We make 3D printable spaceships. Hopefully you guys just enjoyed the trailer, which will be premiering elsewhere on YouTube and the interwebs in about 27 minutes, but you guys got to see it first, so it pays to be in early and watch our live streams. As for live streams, this is an exciting one because, of course, in 27 minutes, we are going live with the Free Trader Beowulf, my baby. I've been working on this for 9 months, 7 months full-time, but, there was a couple of breaks in between. So it's at full term now. In fact, it is overdue, and today it is coming out. Or rather, the Kickstarter campaign is, because I guess, it has to conclude before you guys get the ship. But the exciting thing is the Beowulf is coming out. Now, this is just a 3D model, It's a 3D model that took me 7 months to construct and build and perfect and make 3D printable. We're going to go over it shortly as we sort of build up. Get your questions in. We might talk to John, for example, or we might let's see, I don't know, I'm winging it. I'm kind of stressed out, to be perfectly honest, at the moment. I only just literally got a couple of pictures up in time. I haven't got the ads running, but guys, we've had a fantastic pre-campaign this time around. Almost 1,200 people have registered on the Kickstarter page to go live, and in fact, why don't I just check one last time what we got to. So literally almost 1,197 people are now waiting to find out more about this Kickstarter. Hopefully a lot of people that are into 3D printing, but this time around too, we've actually taken our 3D design of the Beowulf and we have turned that into, basically we've turned it into a wonderful deck plan. Or rather a series of deck plans, because we have multiple ships, of course. So I'm going to be doing a tour of the ship. We're going to be showing off the live model. Maybe not all of the features as you saw in the trailer. It is quite a lot to deal with. Now I'm just going to make sure I've got all the right pages up here so that I can see people. So yeah, I'm going to switch this straight out into classic mode because, you know, I want to actually be able to see a little bit of what I'm doing. Actually, we can probably go to modeling standard, and then we've just got a slight bit more real estate. Although we do want that timeline, don't we? So, because of course there are a couple of animations in there. I suppose it's just a ramp. Let's go with a prettier picture. There we go. All right. So, I'm a little bit nervous, but not as much as I normally would be. So, if you do have questions about the campaign and whatnot, you can ask those questions. I can see you guys are mostly just saying hi. It's really great to see some of you guys that are both regulars and new people or returning names I've seen from past campaigns. What is this stream all about? We're launching this ship on Kickstarter. We're launching the deck plans. We're making a lot of Traveller-based stuff available. What is Traveller? Well, it's only just like the D&D of science fiction, basically. It's a science fiction role-playing game that came out in 1977, 1 month after Star Wars, and it basically is accountancy in space. No, that's not true at all. But if you've seen like Firefly, that is a very good Traveller-esque sort of understanding of the campaign. It's a little bit less Wild West and Civil War than what Firefly is. I think Dark Matter is a similar sort of situation that would be more like Traveller as well. Basically, the Beowulf is the most ubiquitous starship in the Traveller universe. It takes place tens of thousands of years in the future, kind of in like Dune in that sense. Mankind is spread out into an enormous empire. In fact, the Third Empire. And yeah, you take on the life of travelers. Basically, Traveller is known for two things aside from being this science fiction world, right? Number one is you can die in character creation, or could in classic Traveller. The other is that you're all pensioners. Not maybe pensioner age, but you're all retired from the military or scout service or corporate life, and you've all gotten enough money to save up for a couple of ship shares, get a mortgage out, and buy a ship and try to make your fortune plying the space leads, right? Doesn't that sound wonderful? Well, for the first time ever, you'll be able to do that in a physical model, or rather commercially. I know a couple of people have built some really cool models and whatnot, but this will be replicable. So let's see. Well, we had a huge drop off for some reason. Let's see. So since I'm so flustered, why don't we just watch that trailer one more time? So I'm going to switch over to it now and just get a little bit of last minute stuff done. Here we go.
We love spaceships, and we're back on Kickstarter with something for every fan of science fiction. Wow your online or real-life gaming group with beautiful deck plans, or blow them away with our full-scale 28mm Beowulf that you can print out on your very own 3D printer.
Hi, I'm Ben from Second Dynasty. We make 3D printable spaceships for tabletop gaming and display.
This campaign is all about the Beowulf, an official Traveller RPG starship design that first appeared way back in 1977. It reimagines the classic Traveller vessel, but also feels right at home in just about any science fiction setting. We have created beautiful, full-color deck plans of 3 starships, suitable for handouts to full-scale poster maps. Alternatively, bring your favorite virtual tabletop to life with images you can drop straight into your game or customize to your liking.
For the ultimate experience, for our most ambitious and dedicated fans, we have created the 28mm 3D printable Beowulf, a massive model that you can easily print yourself on any FDM 3D printer. Although it has 250 parts, it assembles gluelessly using the OpenLock system and prints almost entirely support-free. You can leave the model fully assembled or unstack the decks to lay them out on your gaming table for a great overview of what's going on throughout the ship. Enhance your starship with third-party lighting kits or with modifications to alter your Beowulf from the stock model, which will be unlocked through stretch goals. Of course, if you want to go old school, it is possible to scale down the parts in your slicer to print at 15mm scale instead. Make sure to check back on the campaign as we progress to see stretch goal progress and contribute by leaving your thoughts on the project. While you're at it, grab other goodies like the Rampart Space Fighter or fill your ship's hold with the cargo pack. Alternatively, complete your Traveller collection with our Starship miniatures and the incredible Type S Scout/Courier. The Beowulf is our largest and most ambitious project to date. We spent over 7 months designing the Beowulf for 3D printing, and we hope that you enjoy the final result as much as we do. Back today to ensure that this project can reach as many people as possible. Your pledge matters, and the more momentum that we build, the more people pledge, and the more stretch goals we can unlock. Share and comment to bring more buzz and attention to the project, and together we can launch the Beowulf into orbit.
Yeah, guys, how was that? I think I killed it a little bit too soon, but you'll get to see the full thing very shortly. I just managed to post that. Where can I get more information for a Traveller game? Lots of places. There are lots of editions of Traveller out at the moment, although I'm sure people in the chat can help you with that. There are 2 editions currently being worked on, Mongoose and Traveller 5. Mongoose is maybe a little bit simpler rules. Traveller 5, very crunchy. So let's tour the ship. Or, Albin, maybe you could grab us the ship, turn on the lights, and bring it in for a flyby. Because I'm sure the people at home really want to see what the ship looks like more than me live streaming this 3D model that we've had for the last... Why?
You didn't need lights?
I don't know. I feel vulnerable and exposed now. Thank you. Anyway. I meant the lights on the Beowulf. Yeah.
Just realized.
Alright, let's see. Let's switch to the close-up camera. Make sure everything's on and the flyby. Oh my god, guys. It's coming. Make it come in front of me. Yep, there you go. I'll take it. Thank you. All right, this is the Beowulf. I can't see. I can't actually see the stream because it's so big, and it's got a nice, lovely, smiley face and feet, and it's very happy to meet you.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, there we go.
You want me to grab it?
Yes, please take it, Elvin. All right, now let me turn off the light again and dwell in darkness. So, guys, what do you think? My helicopter is broken. Yes, it comes with sound effects. So yes, that is the Beowulf, or that's the exterior of the Beowulf. We do have a ton of interior videos and whatnot that we'll be showing throughout the campaign. The campaign page is pretty much ready to go. I think really the only thing left is now to get it ready for launch on the actual. We'll wait until probably another 15 minutes, and then the last minute I'll get the I'm ready to launch button. There's a couple of things you have to click on, and we'll try and time it to be exactly out, and then you guys get to refresh, and I'll be panicking internally because I can't set up all the links whilst I'm streaming to promote it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that. Let's do a virtual tour, huh? So from the exterior, the Beowulf, it's meant to be a 200-ton ship in Traveller, so it's actually large enough that it actually has a cargo bay with a sizable hold. So you can transport, I think it's like 80 tons of cargo or something like that. They're called D tons in Traveller, so I think it's displacement tons. So there is a little bit of leeway. Our Type A free trader Beowulf is slightly different in dimensions to other versions that have been shown, mostly because we've had to really unite the deck plans with something that works in a three-dimensional space. In a lot of instances, you know, the actual height of ceilings or walls and whatnot, it doesn't really match up with what the deck plans have shown. So we used the Traveller 5 deck plans as a basis, and then we went from there. So let's turn off the top of the hull and we can see into Deck A, which is the passenger area. So we have the passenger commons, which is a rather pleasant place to experience your trip. Any Traveller ship, the thing is they have this faster than light travel known as jump. The only catch is it's kind of like folding space, but it takes 1 week, more or less, give or take a couple of hours. So basically, once you hit jump, nothing can catch you, nothing can interact with you, or other ships anyway, until you reach your destination. So the passengers are actually stuck aboard for about a week, so they need a good place to hang out and, you know, play cards, watch holovids or whatnot. We've added a nice little bar because I thought, you know, I would want a bar if I was like in that sort of situation. And, you know, there's only enough cabins for about 10 passengers unless you know, double book them. And so here we have the suites. They're very basic at the moment. You've got a sort of locker and bed, enough room to have some personal cargo. We might do some expansions to that in the future. I don't know. We have what's known as the owner's suite, which can be released. This is identical to the captain's cabin, which we'll see in Deck B later. And you have this long hallway. All the other passengers, they don't get their own fresher. A fresher is the Traveller term used basically for a toilet, but it's also where you would have a shower as well.
Actually, I got a question concerning that.
We do?
How many freshers are there?
Not enough. Or oddly enough, according to the deck plans, the crew has a ton of freshers, like more than they could ever need. Whereas all of the passengers, save the one that might be in high passage in the owner suite, they have to share the same one. So 9 people to a toilet. I don't know. We've done that in when we were doing some animated films before, and it wasn't very pleasant. So down the end of the hallway. Sorry, Maya is just doing an auto save, so it might just take a little bit of time. So down the end of the hallway, we have our garage. This is where you can fit an air raft. There's also a ladder down into engineering below here. I can just move it aside briefly. You can see the ladder going down into there. We'll tour that very soon. And in fact, you know what? That's the next logical place. So I'm going to turn off the deck. Let's see, I want the right one now. Deck A interior. And we're also going to turn off the Deck A hull sides, and we can see into our main engineering, known as a drive compartment in Traveller. So this number 1 and number 2 machinery here is actually the jump drive system. This is what gets you into through interstellar space. It's actually called jump space, and you know, that'll take you from A to B in the Traveller universe. You have your maneuver drives here, which technically in the Traveller universe at a certain tech level, the most common one, These are actually grav plates, and so it's like they can repulse and attract gravity to sort of steer the ship. And there is a lower deck where we have the power plant. We'll be seeing that soon, but for the meantime, let's look in the hold. So this is the massive hold that we have. We've got this upper sort of gantry leading to engineering. If you want to fill the lower area completely with cargo, you can. Here we have our fuel area, which in our model actually doubles as the battery holder. So there's a 9-volt battery that goes in each side and feeds out to the navigation lights here. Engine lights, there's 4 in each engine, and a light into the cargo bay. Now these are completely optional. They're actually sold by a third party, Zorima. We have a link to that on the Kickstarter page, or what's going to be premiering in 10 minutes. So it is important to remember, like, that's a third party thing, so you sort of order it separately. Hopefully he's been able to get up the product for that so you can order it directly. If not, you might have to wait a day or two. Then forward of this, we have the sort of cargo control area where, you know, the crew can monitor the cargo. Maybe you've got livestock or something, or I don't know, stuff that needs monitoring. Here you have the crew commons. So this is where the crew hang out in between. It's also the galley. So the steward would prepare meals for the crew and then take it up in the lift. We have the captain's cabin with its own fresher. Then here we have the crew freshers. There's one here and another one here, and then a crew cabin here. This these stairs. Oh, there's a clip left there. We should delete that. These stairs lead down into the cargo bay, and behind, or rather forward of the galley / crew commons is our bridge, which has 5 positions. We've got the pilot and navigator up the front, along with a seat for the captain. And we have 2 gunnery positions here. We also have a weapons vault or locker and the ship's vault, sorry. So both secure storage areas. These fancy things up the front are actually meant to come up as covers when the ship is making entry. And you can see that despite the fact that, you know, this uses traveler technology, they do have backup RCS sort of thrusters to, you know, in a pinch, if for some reason the power's out, you've got a backup and you can actually steer the ship, right? Will there be some sort of print organizer software? Absolutely. We have a piece of software we had developed. John did that. I think he's here in the chat. It's called 3DO. It formerly known as Deck Designer. And it will have the complete Beowulf, so you can plan out your prints in it. We'll also do a video of how to build things. So let's take off the deck B interior and look down into the deck below and see why the crew have even more toilets for some reason. So here we have the main airlock. This would be the area where the passengers enter. We have a foyer where the crew would greet the passengers, and then the passengers would get in an elevator up to the passenger commons. Forward of that, we have another fresher, which I suppose would be accessible to the passengers in a way. If there was an emergency, it makes the most sense. We have some more crew quarters here. You can see the forward landing gear housings. These are just put into place. They don't actually, they're not mechanical in this sense. We found that the functioning landing gear was too much of a hassle in the Type S when we developed it last year. Here we have the med bay, and you'll notice that there are a bunch of hypersleep looking chambers. These are called low berths in Traveller. They freeze people for the trip, so you know, you don't have to pay for food or anything else. Basically your cargo. Of course, there is a slight risk that you'll die, so there's that. Not so slight either. It's like 5 or 10%, something ridiculous. Maybe that's gone from Classic Traveller. Yet another fresher, because, you know, occasionally there'll be a patient and they need to do their business. And then we have a hall with more low berths. And this is the biggest change from the deck plans, because originally there was supposed to be 20 low berths all in the med bay, and you can kind of see that's not going to happen.
I think you've been challenged.
I've been challenged by what?
The John.
Oh, what's John challenging me for now?
Let me on the stream, Ben. Let me on. I will fight you.
I'll let you on the stream, John. Just ring me, and I'll let you on the stream.
Oh, shit.
But I've got to make sure there's no music or anything on. Oh, he tried to call me already.
Oh.
Yes, literally just a second ago. I don't have my headphones on, John. That's why I didn't hear you. So I will call you now, John. I will call you. Since you're so desperate to get on the stream. Let's see. Hang on, John. You're not audible yet. I need to turn on my... let's see. System sounds. There we go. Let's... Wait. Are they enabled or not? See, now John has completely derailed everything. No, wait. Let's see. Audio output capture. I should have put Dropbox on. Let's see. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. And system. Yes, but you're still muted. I don't know how to turn you on now. He says it's too late for him. Let's see. I need the system audio there, and yeah, I don't know why it's muted. Properties. Yeah, maybe the device wasn't selected. That's why. Let's see. Speakers, Realtek audio. Okay. All right. I don't know. Let's see if you're heard now. Hopefully you are.
Oh,
Hi, John.
I don't know. Hello there, Ben. Alvin takes a very long time to tell you things because I was fighting you back when someone said about is there print organizer software.
Yes, well, John does the print organizing software stuff. That's the thing. And also, John, I think I need to, let's say, I need to make you into your own little pop-out so people can see. I'm not going to show this the whole time. I'm going to show the ships, but just wave, John. You're visible.
Oh, Rutger says the audio is good.
Oh, good.
Audio is good.
Now you've gone away. I need to continue the tour of the ship. No, I'm kidding. We do
I just
need to
wanted
go
to share.
live soon. Yes, share something, John.
The Beowulf was going to be released in 3DO this month, but however, due to my sheer laziness and the massive necessity of the Beowulf,
I thought my
it
English
will
was
be
bad.
next month.
Yeah, John is being humble there. That's actually my fault because the files haven't been prepared in time, as well as John not having time. So I accept a lot of the responsibility there. Thank you for joining us, John. Why don't you stay on as a disembodied voice whilst I finish the tour?
I love being disembodied.
So yeah, the main change that we had to make was to these low berths because there was just no way it was going to fit into the med bay. So we've actually extended the ship by about 2 inches, 2 squares. That's about 3 meters at scale, or 10 feet. We have the second crew cabin here on this deck, and the reason why we changed the orientation too is because in the original design it only had one forward ramp, and it blocked the ramp into one forward landing gear, and it blocked the ramp. So yeah, I just need to check the time real quick to make sure that we've got about a minute and a bit. So I'm just going to very briefly click the I'm ready to launch page. So all I need to do is click launch project now in about a minute, and in fact it's exactly a minute now. So let's finish this tour real quick. Forward to this, you have an access panel to your sort of sensor array. This was never fully detailed or mapped out, but there's plenty of room in there for this machinery, so we've added it. Then rear of the cargo bay, you have an airlock in case it's needed to get into the drive compartment. The suit thing is just an idea. It's not actually finished at the moment, so it's not in the finished version. We can see here the power plant with plenty of room to expand if you want to upgrade the drives. And that's what we're talking about if we're going to do some stretch goals. And then finally, there is an exit under the ship here so that it can be accessed from beneath. So yeah, that is the Beowulf.
Hey, I just want to make an announcement.
What?
We have exactly 1,200 followers at the moment.
That's awesome, because 3, 2, and we're go. I clicked the launch button.
Hey!
Wait,
Jumping
nothing.
jellyfish.
We're live. Let's
Yeah.
see. I need to share. It says my project is live. Let's share the link. We need a link to share. John, can you maybe go in and create a link that we can share in the chat?
Absolutely. Please wait.
And in the meantime, I'm going to move over to this page, our live project. So we are now live, and right now, 1,200 people should be being informed that we are going live. And we've already got, what? We've already got our first pledge, and it's an insane 250 euros.
What?
That's awesome, guys. We've already got 5,000 crowns almost. Yes. Well, guys, thank you for doing it again. Normally, we would have already been funded by this point, but we're doing things different because the Beowulf is so huge. So whilst we enjoy a small snack and set up the link, which I think... there they go. Now it's the challenge on what backer numbers people get. We can start to look at the page and talk about what we have done. But I think for people just joining us, it's probably the right time to just play that video one last time. Let's celebrate.
We love spaceships, and we're back on Kickstarter with something for every fan of science fiction. Wow your online or real-life gaming group with beautiful deck plans, or blow them away with our full-scale 28mm Beowulf that you can print out on your very own 3D printer. Hi, I'm Ben from Second Dynasty. We make 3D printable spaceships for tabletop gaming and display. This campaign is all about the Beowulf, an official Traveller RPG starship design that first appeared way back in 1977. It reimagines the classic Traveller vessel, but also feels right at home in just about any science fiction setting. We have created beautiful, full-color deck plans of 3 starships, suitable for handouts to full-scale poster maps. Alternatively, bring your favorite virtual tabletop to life with images you can drop straight into your game or customize to your liking. For the ultimate experience, for our most ambitious and dedicated fans, we have created the 28mm 3D printable Beowulf, a massive model that you can easily print yourself on any FDM 3D printer. Although it has 250 parts, it assembles gluelessly using the OpenLock system and prints almost entirely support-free. You can leave the model fully assembled or unstack the decks to lay them out on your gaming table for a great overview of what's going on throughout the ship. Enhance your starship with third-party lighting kits or with modifications to alter your Beowulf from the stock model, which will be unlocked through stretch goals. Of course, if you want to go old school, it is possible to scale down the parts in your slicer to print at 15mm scale instead. Make sure to check back on the campaign as we progress to see stretch goal progress and contribute by leaving your thoughts on the project. While you're at it, grab other goodies like the Rampart Space Fighter or fill your ship's hold with the cargo pack. Alternatively, complete your Traveller collection with our Starship miniatures and the incredible Type S Scout/Courier. The Beowulf is our largest and most ambitious project to date. We spent over 7 months designing the Beowulf for 3D printing, and we hope that you enjoy the final result as much as we do. Back today to ensure that this project can reach as many people as possible. Your pledge matters, and the more momentum that we build, the more people pledge, and the more stretch goals we can unlock. Share and comment
to bring more buzz and attention to the project, and together we can launch the Beowulf into orbit.
I finally waited. I waited long enough for everything to come through, and in the meantime, we've gotten through 43,000 crowns. That's just shy of 4,000 euros. So we're almost, we're well beyond 10%. We're about 15% to our funding goal. And the reason it was a little bit higher this time around is because of the amount of time we had to put into this ship. It just took way, way, way longer than we thought it would. But we think that the final product is worth it. So it is a bit more expensive. We do have the traveler license to take into account, so that is a percentage off what the funds that reach us are going to be. You can see Albin's very happy face there. He had all these shots where he was just smiling, and I said, "Give me crazy," and he gave me this. He was worried that all the ladies would think that this was his, standard face. So he's a handsome boy, ladies. And he's single. Anyway.
I'm crazy.
Okay, he says he is crazy. So that's not how you do it, Albin. So, you can see that this ship is completely detailed inside and out. We only were able to paint deck A and B in time. Actually, Lieselot and Albin painted like maniacs, and we had some additional help from Friends of Second Dynasty. We managed to get it out in time. I apologize to Mark Miller that the only character sheet I had handy was a Mongoose Traveler character sheet. We did the shoot on Friday. Poor Hannes has had an hour of sleep last night. I came in this morning and he's like, "Hi." So, that's kind of how things have been going. We also printed out really quickly our deck plans. They're only in prototype version at the moment. But this is something I should speak on because there are a lot of new backers potentially that can come and find out more about our deck plans. Of course, we have done a couple of graphics before to illustrate the interiors of like the Type S. I think the Type J had less. But the Beowulf also has these nice graphics. And the idea is that we're going to create deck plans in two different versions. The first version is to have just to be a sort of PDF that you can either use as handouts or you can use it as a poster map. You can print it yourself on your own printer, as we did. You can see in this poster map, I did it at approximately 15 millimeters and just printed out on our color laser printer in 6 sheets. And I think they're not even sticky tape, they're blue tacked together. We were kind of, pressed for time this weekend. We filmed on Friday and had a finished video by today. So it was actually done a couple of hours ago. So it was actually ready at like 2:00, which is impressive.
New record.
A new record, yes. So that's one form of the deck plans. The other is for virtual tabletops. I don't know about you guys, but especially during the pandemic, we couldn't game in real life. So a lot of my gaming has been via virtual tabletop, a lot of Roll20, some Foundry. Fantasy Grounds is another popular one. But the idea being that we create the graphics so that you can drop the Beowulf into your campaign. As you can see here, this is just a screenshot I took after I just fixed the deck C of the Beowulf in Roll20. It's really not that fancy, and in fact I could almost have thought to load up Firefox with this in it so we could show it. I just put in some dynamic lighting, but of course the VTT we want to make the partitions and beds and things all separate, so you can instead of like the PDFs, which will have it won't just be the ship, it'll be all 3 decks of the ship
plus a version on top will have images of it from multiple angles, and will also have multiple backgrounds, so you can simulate landing in a starport, or on a desert planet, or in space. I don't know exactly how many variants we're going to do, because it will create a lot of iteration, but we want to make it a lot of bang for your buck, and that's where our sort of basic pledges come from. So the deck plans pledge, that'll just be 3 different deck plans. So we're doing the Type S, the Type J, and the Type A. The Type A is the Beowulf, the Type S is the Scout, and the Type J is the Seeker, which is also known as a mining ship or a prospecting ship. So those are sort of based on our earlier 28mm scale stuff, and of course we'll see if we can't do versions that are already ready for 15mm for those deck plans, for those of you that want to play old school, because 15mm was the standard for Traveller for many years. I myself prefer 28mm, and the Beowulf would not have been anywhere near as impressive if it wasn't quite that big. How many entry points would the ship have for borders? There are quite a few. We can look real quickly. You've got your main airlock. You've got the ramp, although that would be harder to do. You've got 2, I guess, garage door style entries here. If the turrets are blown off, that would be a point of egress. You have this access section here. They could technically maybe get through the landing gear if it was landed. That's just on deck C. So there are a few. Then I think you could get out through the garage, and that's basically it. So there's not a ton, but there's enough that you should be worried. Don't know what that hissing noise was, John, but in any case,
I was excited.
You were excited. Yay. And glad you were,
My
John.
excitement is unbounded, sir, and it is incapable of disguising it. And I wanted you to know.
Well, let us continue, and then we get on to the meat and potatoes. Yeah, I just choose to ignore things. Yeah, plenty of opportunity for tactical combat. Yes, indeed. And in fact, if we go up to this image here, it's kind of hard to see, but we've actually got a bunch of Imperial Marines bursting through into the... let's see. Do I want to risk the... I'm just trying to decide if I want to risk the stream potentially crashing here. So I'm gonna just load things manually. I think go into Traveller 3, and then we've got our Beowulf folder where I took all these nice pictures, and I will send them over. Let's see. I've got this sorted by date, which I don't know why, but anyway. View, extra large icons, and then we'd need to find... This is one of my favorite little pictures of the Beowulf that I took during the photo shoot. Just of our captain relaxing in the cockpit. Let's see. We also have...
Are you showing us photos, sir? Because I see the campaign.
It was there very briefly. I took it off again. There it is. On the campaign. So I'll leave these up for a bit because I think I can cycle through them. So I will cycle through a couple of pictures and we'll see how it goes. Let's see. You can see these photos from the set. Hannes and Mikke. No smoke machine this time. I mean, the last time we had it kind of caused issues, so... Actually, not us, but someone else. A couple of blurry photos. This is up from the top of the stairs, because we never have enough ceiling. Mikke took these, which is why they're as bad as they are. He hasn't got the newest camera, I don't think. And another couple of shots. I think I was trying to change the orientation here. Not very helpful, I guess. Let's try a different one. You can see the filming process. Very, very hard to get matte black, by the way. So Hannes did a very impressive job. You can see the sort of like strut that it's being held up by. The ship is just shy of 5 kilos. It's like 4.5 kilos. That's about 10 pounds for those across the pond. And I think we're getting... I'm going to skip forward to like what I actually had in mind. Because I think... Well, so many photos. I forgot I sent that to Hannes about the Weird Al film. So you can see the Beowulf on our shelf right now, just before we filmed my appeal. We had the lighting here, and a horrible guest appeared. John, you're going to have to play catch up.
I'm currently loading things in my brain.
Yes, well, I see that the stream's like a minute behind when I'm talking, so I apologize, guys. Right, yeah, they're just seeing it now. The blasphemous creature known as Benjamin.
Benjamin is my favorite.
Yes.
It's everyone's favorite.
So we made this tabletop scene in our office lunchroom. You can see the comparison of ship scales there. You've got the Type S there in the foreground. You just saw the shuttle Alpha at the very beginning. See? For scale. 15mm map there. It's about the same size as just Deck A. And then you can see here there's actually Marines invading through the cargo bay. I thought that was a nice little... I wanted to try and tell a little bit of a story, although I guess the captain doesn't know about it because she's a little bit too relaxed. Maybe she betrayed the rest of the crew. And another couple of shots. There we go. That was what I was trying to get anyway. The cargo bay photo is what I was looking for. There they are. Yeah, I don't like the look of that thing, that shoulder-mounted launch. So yeah, anyway, let's get back to the campaign. Oh, how ironic! The same picture. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Anyway, deck plan's done. Let's talk about the Beowulf itself. So I gave a tour of the ship at the top of the stream. So if you guys want to see a digital tour of the ship, it's probably a good idea to go back and restart the stream. Sorry in advance, it is a live stream. We do have a lot of things to try and juggle. We can see all of the different decks here. For those of you that do want to take time, actually, you know what, before we get any further, let's just check back in. Oh, wow. 7,600 euros. Very nice. We're about a quarter of the way to funding, which is absolutely awesome.
I think it's time for us to sing a song, Ben.
It's time for John to sing a song.
Excitement abounds. I almost can't wait. Relax. I don't want your baby. I already ate. That's it.
I don't know what that's about, and I don't want to know. So let's talk about the pledge levels and go through them real quick. So again, we've got our deck plans sort of pledge. Normally, you can buy the deck plans if you just want one of the ships. They cost about $8, €8, I think. I haven't checked lately, but I think the euro is pretty close to the dollar in parity.
The US dollar is even stronger, so it's like for every 100 you get 90. It's only 98 USD discounts.
Well, there you go. So you get a 2% discount. In any case, the deck plans, yeah, they would be $8. Together you get them bundled as 20. So sorry, they would be $8 each. So you save a little bit of money. The next pledge up is the free trader Beowulf. Big gap in between there, but this is an absolutely huge ship. I realize I just never updated the graphics for it, which is a shame. You can see the like base painted version here. Then you can see the fully painted version here, where we've actually got, you know, more shading and some, well, the name Beowulf on the side. I'm really happy with how those transfers came out, and in fact, I'll probably make the transfers available as a sort of bonus for the ship, because I did improve upon the ones we made for the Type S. So everything new pledge, €100, $100, $98, as John has mentioned, includes all of the new stuff to the campaign. So in addition to the Beowulf and the deck plans, we also have 3 new products. We have a new air raft coming that's in development. I can show these things off a little bit later. We have the Rampart light fighter, which Albin has designed, or rather built in 3D from I think Mega Traveler era designs of it. I understand there's a ton of variants of that too, so you never know in the future. And then of course a 1 to 270 scale model of the Beowulf and a tactical model. So lots of stuff and goodies in there, and you know, some discounts there considering the prices of everything. So it's not just, you know, $75 plus $20. I mean, and then all of these other goodies, you actually do make some savings. The next one is a big hop up. Why did we do it this way? Well, the people that did back our last Traveler campaign have had 7 months to, you know, upgrade and from their pledges if they missed something. So this was for new people coming in that missed out on our previous 2 Traveler campaigns that we've had. We did the Type S, and we did the Starship miniatures, and I'll detail that a little bit more when we scroll down lower. All of this stuff is in our add-on section individually, so you get a ton of goodies. I think even though it's like a $250 pledge, it has something like double that in value or something like that. John, am I close to right on that?
Yes, it is. It's 50% off.
So there you go. So that's better than our best sales sort of situations. And then we have the Starship Hoarder, which is the ultimate one. Yeah, it's $500. It's a lot of moolah, I understand, but it includes 15 ships. So just like the Beowulf, we've been making ships for the last 5 years. So if you've never heard of us, the ships that we have, they're not necessarily all Traveler minded, but they will all fit into Traveler quite nicely, because Traveler itself is a very, very broad sort of science fiction game, which can really have the whole gamut of technology levels, from, you know, NASA sort of technology level, well, it can even have Stone Age, all the way up to, you know, like Dyson spheres. So there's everything in between. So we have the Chimera, which is actually longer than the Beowulf. It's an entire 3 feet or 90 centimeters long. You've got the Sleipnir, which is our Expanse style ship, which is a vertical tower ship. We have the Beta Centauri, which is an interpretation of our old Scout Ship Beta, which is actually Travelified version of it. So it's slightly longer, would mean it would be about 150 tons in Traveler gaming terms, which is kind of like between classes, but still. A heavy scout ship or a very light freighter. So it has a larger cargo bay than our standard one, and an upper deck, and no armaments. You can add them yourself. Then, of course, we have our shuttles, Shuttle Alpha Mark 3 and 4. We've got our brand new Adafoy, which is a ghost ship version of the Chimera series. You've got the Chimera Pathfinder, which is a narrower, smaller ship. The Pegasus, which is a passenger liner. The Cerberus, which is a military ship. Basically a gunboat. It's got turrets all over the place. It really feels at home, like in a galaxy far, far away. As does Transport Delta, which obviously is meant to look like a sort of YT series ship with a few signatures of Second Dynasty as well. So I don't know if we missed anything there. We did. We missed the Type S, the Type J, the Gig, which is made by Craig Pay. He did a wonderful job. We're offering that again. And let's have a closer look at some of these add-ons. We have the Rampart Light Fighter, which Albin worked on. So this is about 10 inches long, 25 centimeters. It doesn't have a landing gear at the moment. It just has a stand. It wasn't evident to us when looking at the model where there would be landing gear. So if you we need to study our traveler books a little bit more. Of course, the 1 to 270 miniature of the Beowulf, 1 to 270. Why that? That's the X-Wing scale. So if you wanted to use that in like an X-Wing game as a sort of modded version, you could. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, guys, these ships, it's not just the base ships. It's also 58 variants. So like Totally Glitch was mentioning there with the Delta, there's like an extended version. There's ones with upper decks. There's a saucer version, for example. The same with Scout Ship Beta. It has an awesome Hammerhead version. So you can kind of replace the those here with a Hammerhead bridge. So the miniatures will come after the fact. We need to sort of like stitch together the ship. It's a time-consuming process. We have, of course, the deck plans, which we've already discussed. The aircraft, we get a bit of a closer look at it. The interior we should be seeing during the campaign, so something closer to the final product. The landing gear of the fighter is right in the front. It just flies into something. John, don't you like that explanation?
I like every explanation you give the Ben.
Very good.
By the way, we're forgetting an important detail.
We
That's
are?
the pledge. The 28mm aircraft is included in the all-in, but it's not listed as included in the all-in.
It isn't?
Nope.
Wait, what?
Scroll down to the pledges. It says it there. Not included. Doesn't say it's included.
Oh, in the actual description. That's a mistake. It needs to be added. I don't know if we can add it. We should have checked those. But yes, it is included.
Also, we also forgot another thing. We didn't put anywhere in any spot in the actual dimensions of the Beowulf itself.
No, so we'll add a couple of details to the campaign while we can.
Okay, I'm done complaining about your amazingness. I now sing praises. Don't mute me.
I think he muted himself. This is why we love John. Although now we've probably gone and done it by telling him he's loved, and that'll keep him going for months.
I feel valued for years.
There you go. Unless the Benjamin gets him first. So the Traveller 28mm miniatures we actually did with our Type S. I would have loved to do a new crew for the Beowulf, but we just didn't have the time or resources. So this is our biggest campaign for the year. It's where all of our resources have gone, and we really, just barely got the Beowulf out on time. This includes another 5 unseen miniatures that aren't actually shown, and that would be the I think we've actually 5 miniatures, because last campaign we actually had 2 backers that got to design their own Traveller miniature. They got back to me quite late. In fact, only one of them got back to me in the end, so there will be another 5 one day, hopefully, if he ever gets back to me, or they ever get back to me. But yeah, there's an engineer that looks rather cool. I'll have to dig up that artwork at some point. So a lot of bang for your buck. $50 for 64 miniatures, and you can print as many as you want. So we've got Varga, we've got some Aslan, we have the glorious Hiver that blasted Summerflange did for us, which is this, I don't know what's going on here.
Check tribes on Discord.
Check the tribe's Discord, Ben. Check the tribe's Discord.
Why?
Check it.
Oh my god! Okay, how do I open this? What the hell? What is this blasphemy? Yeah, so someone designed yeah, okay. Oh my god. That is insane. So someone turned my head into a turret. Thank you, John.
It's articulated.
It is articulated, but it looks like an abomination. Zodani Marines is something I'd love to do in the future, but again, we don't actually do the sculpts ourselves, so it requires working with some wonderful artists, and that just takes time to make happen. So we might make it happen. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Of course, we have our older aircraft, a couple of different variants here of the aircraft that came with the Type S. You have a sort of like more tray bag version, what we'd call a ute in Australia. You have a sort of enclosed sedan. We have the Imperial Star Marines. One or two of them are actually, one of them is included with the miniatures pack. Where did that go? I went past it. Just one though. So this has 5 different poses and also a marine suiting up, which I thought was really, really cool. We have a turret pack, so if you want to use the T5 turrets, you can get some variations there. They are not articulated. Our turrets historically usually are, and the ones on the Type A Beowulf are articulated, so the barrels can go up and down, and all of the turrets can rotate 360 degrees at least. You have the Type J Seeker. We never painted it up, but you can see here the printed version in 28mm, so I've got that up on my shelf. And we have the Gig that I was talking about that was made by Craig Pay. And we also have the Beta Centauri, which I mentioned. You can see a couple of different views. That's actually painted up on the shelf. Our Type S Kickstarter edition, it is a bit more expensive because it includes all of the stretch goals. And we also have our Traveller Starship Miniatures Kickstarter edition. So we had 50 Starship miniatures. Actually, I think you can double that number because they're in 2 scales, 1 to 270, and that's probably about 25 ships, in 2 different scales, I'd say. That makes more sense. So there are a ton of Traveller Classics. They're not really to scale with each other. The lab ship here is absolutely massive. Actually, Alvin, do you want to get that down and just show them in the background? So these are in the sort of Star Wars scale. Let me switch the camera back to the close-up. Hey guys! And Albin will show you how big this thing is. So yeah, that's 1 to 270. And then compare it to like a Type S or something. You have a Type S there, right?
Yep. So you can basically land.
Get a bit in shot, yeah. So there's a bit of a scale difference there. I'm hoping I'm not off. I tried hard to look at the deck plans, but I understand there's an incongruence between the deck plans and the designs. And then the final add-on is cargo containers, which, if you want some standalone cargo to put in your Beowulf, there's your option for it. So let's see, I want to go back to the live stream here so I can see any questions. Love the lab ship. I love it too. It's an awesome design. Alvin did a really good job translating it. And of course, all of these Starship designs, with the exception of the ships we've made, were designed by the wonderful Ian Stead, who is, a known Traveller artist.
I think they have a Kickstarter, like a Rogue Trader thing or something.
A Rogue Trader thing?
Like a new Traveller book or...
Instead?
I think he collaborated with someone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I probably should have looked that up. And then before we wrap things up, let's look at the funding goal. Of course, we hit €25,000, which probably won't take more than a couple of days at this rate. We'll see. Then we are fully funded and we can unlock some stretch goals. Now, they are a little bit higher than usual, mostly because we are very, very stretched and we need to give reasonable approximations of, what it will cost us time-wise and money-wise to develop the stretch goals. So they're all based, the first two. John, do you want to talk about how we arrived at this crazy combination?
Of course, sir. Oh, like right now? Okay, day.
Tell them about the tribes, John.
Oh, yes. The tribes got to vote. A tribes is like a Patreon, but it's on my mini factory, and you get to take part And we have plans that are just $5 a month, and you get tons of goodies included, and you get a vote, and you get to pick what the orders of the kicks of the goals was. Well, the first one anyway. And they voted for Jump 2. Aren't they amazing? Join the tribe at my mini factory.
That's right. They went right to Jump 2. So they want the jump drives before they get the fuel bladders, before they get a new power plant that can actually run it. And, you know...
They are jumping ahead, sir.
Indeed, which is ironic. So Jump 2, jump drives. Essentially, the Jump 1 drives that are in the Beowulf allow you to jump 1 hex. Each hex in travelers to parsec takes a week to travel right. So Jump 2 would let you jump up to 2 parsecs in a week instead. So it doubles the range of your ship and means you can also reach stars that are further away. Then we have the fuel bladders, which provide the additional fuel you need to feed these jump drives. They're meant to be collapsible. We've had a lot of discussions about the variants. So these are actually quite huge. And, you know, we can add them back in and view them in Maya really quickly. So, yeah, that takes up a sizable portion actually on both sides of the cargo bay. So you have a lot of reduced cargo space. However, you are able to get further away. And when you've used up the fuel, the idea is that these collapse into a much smaller section so that you can, you know, make your second jump. So the fuel bladders actually allow you to make Jump 2 by taking the fuel with you and doing 2 jumps. So it'll take 2 weeks, but you'll have enough fuel with you for that. Then the Jump 2 drives, let's see, I think there's the standard drives. And then if we just put on the expansion here, Jump 2, you can see it's a much larger, meatier drive. So we will be doing flooring as well and moving some of the equipment out of the way so it all makes sense. But basically it's meant to occupy between the 2 sides an additional 5 tons, so like 50% more space. And so it's going to be a big task to make that look good and fit into the space, but, you know, the Beowulf is a little bit larger than you think it is, especially this version. The end of the ship is actually about an extra 5 feet or 1 square or 1.5 meters, whichever you prefer. And yeah, then we have the maneuver drives, which allow you to basically fly twice as fast. And then who knows what's coming up later. Now, we'll see how we go for stretch goals. We may unlock additional deck plans. I'm not sure. It all depends on like what we see in the way of deck plan backers. But yeah, we will see how close we get to all of this stuff. The Kickstarter is going to go for about 2 weeks. Sorry, not 2 weeks. 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks and 3 days, I think. Here we have the light kits. This is the sort of setup. So we have these navigation lights. You have the drive cones there. Press the switch at the back. You've got the blinking red and green navigation lights on the sides. You've got the engine lights. And then you can see the batteries down there. And then 2 lights either side of the cargo bay providing a gentle glow. And actually the batteries can feed an additional 2 lights each if you wanted to make an expansion, and they've got these handy little connectors. So there is a link there to where you will be able to buy the lights. I'm not sure if it's open at the moment. They have, yeah, the type. I don't think the type the Beowulf has been added just yet. So we'll do a shout out when they do go live. You were saying, John?
I was saying how swell the ship is. What should we do to make sure it hits its stretch goals? Cough, cough, like, comment,
right,
subscribe.
yes. You should re-watch the pitch video and pay close attention to the very end, where I apparently look very angry.
Buzz!
So, yeah, buzz is the important thing. So you guys can actually go in and comment here. And there are a couple of clarifications and comments to do, which I'll be answering shortly. You can like any of our updates. We haven't done any yet, but whenever you see them turn up in your inbox, if you actually go in and like and maybe leave a comment, that helps the algorithm. And then, of course, the best way is to actually share the campaign. And as you can see, guys, we're almost halfway to our funding goal in about an hour? No, 40 minutes. So 102 backers in 40 minutes, not too bad. Usually it is very fast at the start, but right now, especially today, all the sharing and liking that you can do wherever you can think of, anywhere that there's interest in Traveller, 3D printing, role-playing, get on that, and we can ensure we unlock some of those stretch goals, get even more, and make this our greatest campaign ever. And I just saw a bunch of graphical issues I have to fix. Yeah, anyway, guys, I think, John, unless there's anything else, we should maybe wrap up the stream here.
Goodbye, John.
John has, disengaged the John drive. Yeah, thank you for joining us and tuning in. We usually live stream on Fridays. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have recently just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I know it's not much, but we're a very small company, but we're growing, and we would like to bring you guys along for the ride, and we love listening to your feedback. Get on the comments, nerd out about Traveller, argue about additions, be nice, no flaming, and all of that sort of stuff makes us stand out on Kickstarter, which means more people are going to have the opportunity to get our wonderful deck plans and Starship. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for making this happen. Amazing, amazing work so far with the 11,000 plus euros pledged. And we'll hear, hopefully you'll hear from us very soon. You will hear from us very soon. Hopefully we'll hear from you very soon. All right, guys.